Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Phillies hit a skid, losing 5 of their last 6. Bryce Harper returns to the lineup. Mick Abel makes another strong start. Should we be worried about Jesus Luzardo after 2 bad outings? The Eagles continue OTAs. Saquon Barkley graces the cover of Maddon 26. Is the curse real? Bryce Huff is traded to the Niners. CJGJ talks some shit. The Flyers signed Tyson Forster into a case to extensions. The team also fills spots behind the bench with the hiring of 2 assistant coaches. All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Another week back in town. My ass is no longer sweaty from the day of heat in Philadelphia right now, so I'm happy about that. Nice and cool down here in the old podcast basement / bada bing. But yeah, man, can't complain.
You know why it's hot? Here's why. I threw the Manalishi mixtape in the Nicetown bus lot.
Oh, damn.
Lit everything on fire here with the whole goddamn
How could you
city.
do that?
Damn.
I wanted to make sure everyone heard how good we are.
So inconsiderate.
Yeah, so it's my fault. I'm the reason why it's hot and humid and sweaty in Philadelphia. It's like, nah.
Damn, we got all our asses wet like that?
That's how summer is. You know how that is around here.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as June hits, it gets hot. Like, you know what? We were having a pleasant spring, right? Like most days, honestly, kind of a mild spring, a chilly spring.
Wet spring.
Quite frankly, a chilly, wet spring.
Yeah, wet and chilly.
But then as soon as June hits, that humidity cranks up. The Canadian wildfires start.
Yeah.
It's just like clockwork, man. It's, what was it, 2 years ago?
2023,
Yeah,
2022.
when we started the pod and the wildfires were so bad you couldn't
Yeah.
even see down the street.
Well, we were walking over to your house at that point. We're like, damn, the sky's red. I'm like, it's 6 o'clock right now. It's nuts. They're
Yeah,
like,
it was
please,
really
if you
weird.
can, stay inside. Me and Avery were walking over to your house like, well, this is weird.
You're breathing in all the smoke. I couldn't even see a block in
It
front of
smells
me.
like a barbecue out here.
But yeah, other than that, things are going well. All this goddamn construction on my block.
Oh, yeah, they're ripping your street up.
Dude, it's bad. I send you all the pictures of the hole.
Yeah.
It's like the South Philly Grand Canyon over there.
It's wild. It's
Yeah.
crazy out there. No joke. I feel like I've been complaining about this on the pod for probably over a year. You threw up in the hole outside my house.
Well, it's funny.
Literally last April.
At least that hole, I
This-
could throw up in and fall over and not fall in the hole. This one, I would be nervous
Now,
if
this
I was
hole's a good, like 8 feet.
if
or
I was
eight-
in that same
6 feet deep.
state and I throw up in this hole. I might never come back out of that thing.
No, that thing's deep
That's
as
a deep
hell.
hole,
Yeah.
and it's long. It's like the whole block.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Where they're replacing the water main.
Yeah, the main line. I seen them stick a big tube in the hole. Like they've been working
Nice.
segments of the
Yeah.
block at a time. This giant tube.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that'd be fun to crawl in when I was
You
a
just
kid.
been watching guys laying pipe on your block all day.
When I had time at work, I've definitely looked out the window a couple times. Like, oh, what are these guys doing out
That's
here?
what I'm talking
It's
about.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Yo, did you know that thing that they scoop the stuff with is called an excavator?
Yeah.
I never knew that until this week.
No, you're
I
playing.
I just called it the scoop.
Oh my
scoop?
God, Avery, what?
I didn't know that.
That's what they call it in the construction site.
Yeah,
So I'm the
but then-
scoop
I'm working
operator.
the scoop today.
I'm on the scoop.
I mean, that's what it is.
I mean,
In
that's what
layman's
it- that's-
terms, that's what it is. It's
that's
a
what
scoop.
it. That's what it does.
It's
It
a scoop,
Scoops. Yeah,
It's a big scoop.
I get that. Damn, dude.
right? Like, you don't call a spoon. I don't know. You call a spoon, but like,
Yeah, you don't call it a scoop.
I don't call it the shuffle.
you don't call a blend. Well, you could call a blender a mixer. Whatever. I learned something new this week.
Well, that's good. You learn something
Yeah,
new every
you know,
day. Thank
yeah.
God we could get. Thank God the guys out here doing all the workout can teach you something every day.
But they be turning my water off sometimes. That's
Well,
an inconvenience.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's annoying. I
That's
remember that
us.
was happening when I used to live on like off of Broad and Morris, and they were building that like library community center
Yeah.
place across the street
Mm-hmm.
the whole time I was living there. And like, yeah, you just come home and your water's shut off. That was annoying.
Yeah, it's
But you know, it's got. At least they're being preemptive with replacing the wire main. They're not waiting until it bursts and like floods your whole block.
Yeah,
Like, that's nice.
I'm not mad about it. It's just an inconvenience.
Could be worse. Yeah. I mean,
right? And like,
Yeah.
Could always be worse.
thank God that dope with the 3 cars doesn't live on my block because you can't park on my street at all.
I mean, who? Yeah,
He'd be taking up. There's like
Yeah,
a
man.
lot of blocks in my area are being worked on. There's
it's a mess,
a
man.
lack of parking.
We just rode our bikes down there, and it's like it's not it's terrible.
Yeah, it's all dusty and dirty. Did y'all turn the AC on? You turned it on,
I had
obviously.
to, yeah.
Trevor, you turned it on?
Oh, yeah, we've had ours on.
You've had it on? Since when?
Like, I don't know.
When'd you put it on?
I mean, we've had it on for like a while now.
Oh,
What?
A couple weeks?
Even
About to say
when
a
it
couple
was
weeks?
like 70 degrees?
Yeah, I keep that shit at 71.
Damn, that's wild.
Dude, here's the thing. We got central air. We got solar panels on the roof. It's guilt-free air, man.
Okay, you got solar panels.
We got
That's a
that
difference.
renewable energy,
Okay.
man. We could just blast that shit all day.
We usually hold off till
Without-
like mid-late June when it gets real ripping. But like
Right,
today I
same.
said, last night we didn't put it on. And I regretted it because I got the fan going high. I got windows open, but there's no real breeze. It was down to 60, but it didn't really get into the house at all.
Yeah.
And I did not sleep good. Today I'm like, I had it on, I think, at 2 o'clock today just to get the heat out of the house.
Yeah, as soon as I woke up this morning, it's like, damn, it's muggy.
Yeah.
And from all like the dust from the construction and the smoke from the fires, I'm like, okay, I got to shut these windows, get this AC cranking.
Thank God it was cloudy, though, for the most of the day, so it didn't feel too hot in the morning.
Clouds. I think that's the smoke.
No. In the morning, it was a little overcast. Like, it was a little cloudy.
I don't know about that.
I was up at 5:30 with Mika, so like it was.
I think that was the smoke.
I don't think they're saying we can see it yet.
Yes.
It's not as they said the air quality gets affected, but the visual I don't think is as bad as like it was like when it was really ripping a couple years ago.
I haven't noticed. I mean, it hasn't been noticed.
I haven't smelled it. That one year you could smell like it was like
Yeah, that is
yeah,
true. It
like-
smelled all over the place.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, you could definitely.
But
Hey.
yeah, we broke today. I said I gotta put the air on. I'm sorry, I gotta do it.
I think give it a couple months, those wildfires will be stinking up the joint.
I mean, it's
But-
every year.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, I talked about this on the pod a bunch. That's better than the smell of piss and weed that you get in Philly in the summertime.
Yeah.
I guess. What do you think's better air quality?
What?
Probably the piss and weed, right?
Well,
As opposed to the Canadian wildfire air.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the piss is really affecting the quality of the air that much.
I find it funny that Philadelphia has an alert for like terrible air quality when like we live in just already like our
Yeah.
our bar is already
Well,
so
the
low.
baseline is pretty.
That's true.
Every block you walk by, someone's smoking a cig or a cigar in like 98-degree heat. They're like, "Watch out for the smoke from Canada." Everyone's like, "The fuck!" Like no one that it.
You ever been to Grumpy's?
Yeah, it doesn't affect the day-to-day Philadelphia, and we're like, "Oh man, that sucks." It doesn't. No one changes their day-to-day.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. I feel like other cities, they'd be a little more cognizant. Here, we don't care.
No, I saw a guy when they put out those. When we had our water break out front, and they put that new pipe in. They were like, "Yeah, we're kind of close to the gas line, but we should be all right." Like no one the regular rules. I don't think impact
Smoking
Philadelphia as a
cigs
whole.
right outside the
Yeah.
gas line. You gotta love it. What about this bus fires?
Yeah,
That's
that shit's
wild.
crazy. Yeah, we got these fucking budget cuts coming. They're getting ahead of it. They're like, we're just gonna get rid of all these.
That's kind of what I think
Buses.
it might have been related to that.
Well, they're
don't
not
know how-
active buses though.
It was like a decommissioned
Yeah.
buses.
The graveyard.
Okay, gotcha.
They're
It
like
wasn't
the-
like
they're
they
gonna
weren't
sh-
going to do anything with
No,
them anyway.
they're like the park depot,
Yeah.
but they just caught on fire, which it's a bit fishy. It's a bit odd.
I mean, what's the angle though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What
I
is
mean,
that? Is it doing it for like insurance or?
I don't know.
Who knows?
They'll probably never find out what the cause was, or they'll just make something up.
It's
Yeah.
SEPTA. They don't have to have a reason. They just do things.
Yeah. Fucking Josh Shapiro better get on this shit and fix the fucking
Yeah.
funding.
He didn't
I'm gonna be
react
so
as fast. 95 goes down, he's on their shit. National Guard. SEPTA was to go down. Don't hear a peep from him. And he's got history with fire. He was
Yeah.
AQB,
Burn it.
yeah.
Yeah,
What?
man.
He's got
If
history with fire.
he doesn't get
AQB.
if he doesn't get the fucking SEPTA funding in the budget, I hope someone sets his house on fire again.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
When did that happen? That was
It
recent.
was like a couple months ago,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some like lunatic set his house on fire.
I mean, it's,
That's pretty wild.
maybe they thought he
I mean,
lived
not
in the
well,
bus
like
yard.
it was like
Well,
the
it's like the
governor's
governor-
mansion.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it's not
just
like
a-
his house.
He's a renter, so I guess the
He's-
landlord has to pay for that. But, like,
Yeah. He's just a tenant.
Yeah. I guess whoever set the bus yard on fire might have thought he was hanging down there. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. But it was a funny thing to see. It's like, everyone's like, oh, can't come to work today then. All the buses are on fire. And they're like, they're not even in operation. Like, we're good to go. I'm like, fuck. Yeah.
Good old nice town. It's like, I don't think I ever hung out in Nicetown.
Well, I think speaking of dumpster fires, these Phillies right now, kind of looking like a bunch of septic buses sitting out there in the
They're
graveyard.
playing disgusting.
Up.
They're playing disgusting baseball.
Parking the bus and setting it on fire.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
They just can't get it together, man. They win a bunch of games,
Get a
lose
glimmer
a
of
bunch.
hope.
Yeah.
A couple
Glimmer of
nights
hope.
ago, they just unleashed the bats. They got, Bryce and Trey Turner going back to back. It's like, all right, we're back, baby. Here we go. We're scoring runs. Next day, back to nothing.
And today, obliterated.
Yeah, smoked.
I mean, it's just embarrassing baseball. I don't know. At this point, everything is whatever could go wrong is going wrong. Which I feel like we usually hit this phase of the Phillies season where, like, after a month or two of this, we look back. We're like, shit. If we had just done a little bit better here and there, we could be in a better spot come postseason. But it's just bad, man. And they're like, oh, but wait till Bryce Harper gets back, we'll be good to go. First game back, I'm like, all right, they got their mojo back. We're all right. We're hitting again. We're good to go. Then the next day, you just go flat like that. And today, you just get embarrassed again. It's like, we're not just losing. We're getting, like, wrecked. And that's not good in baseball. I'll take a 3-2, 4-5, whatever, 5-1, whatever. But when you're putting up 4 or 5 runs in 2 or 3 innings on, like, less than 30 pitches, that is embarrassing.
Yeah, Luzardo kind of got shelled today. It's his second start in a row, like you said in the open, 2 starts in a row. The first game, that Brewers game, where he gave up 12 runs, which they left him in there for too long. Yeah, but it's still just
they were kind of hamstrung.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with this bullpen situation is you have to like
pick and choose.
Leave some of your stars to just get hung out to dry out there because you just don't really have the firepower.
Yeah, and I mean it's all right to do that once in a while, but they've done it twice in Luzardo's last 2 starts.
Mm-hmm.
He's just taken one for the team. His ERA has gone up from 2.15 to 4.46.
Yeah.
Bad.
It's more than doubled.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of had to figure that there was going to be some regression there. I mean, as good as he was, like, I don't know if Jesus Luzardo is like necessarily like a sub-3 ERA guy, but
sure.
So you kind of expected a little bit of regression, but this is a bit much.
Yeah. I'd say, yeah, it's not like a step back. It's just a damn dude. Come on now, like it's just bad.
Yeah, he's not getting hit regression. He's getting run over like a septibus, dude. He's getting smoked right now. But I mean, he's hardly just the team's only problem. Like the bullpen's an issue. Pat, you were getting at this over the weekend, saying that they can't beat winning teams. Their record against winning teams, I think I got it written down here. What do you think of this?
I mean,
it's 34 games. What do you think of this?
It's got to be 10-24.
What do you got?
I'll go a little better than that. I'll say it's like 14 and
20,
whatever that
20,
whatever
so 14 and 20. That would be. Y'all are both actually a little more down on them than the record indicates. They're 16 and 18.
Yeah, I guess they did. Yeah, they had like a good series against the Dodgers in the beginning
Cubs,
of the season.
Yeah,
that's true. They have beat some good teams.
Yeah, but they're not like. I guess my point is that like I'll take the record being pretty close. Like they're not like
if you can hang around 500, but you can't be under.
They're flirting with it, but like when we beat teams over 500, we're not shellacking them. But when we lose to teams over 500, we're getting our ass beat. Whether we're home, whether we're away, like it's not a pleasant experience at all.
Yeah, I mean that Brewers game on Saturday, losing 17 again.
Yeah, like 7. It's just not.
And
like
it was only 17-7 because they scored like 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th.
Garbage time
at home too, which is pretty brutal. Because I mean, the Phillies have been one of the best home teams for like the past 2 seasons now. So you don't really expect to have that poor of a showing at home. Just like could not get anything done. Fucking Rhys Hoskins came and lit us up. Miss him, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing. Like, I'm okay with losing to good teams. That's expected, right? You're kind of playing a potential playoff matchup here and there, whether you're playing the Brewers or the Cubs, maybe even the Braves. That they sneak
Brewers
in there.
they're like hover around 500.
Yeah, they were only a game above 500.
Yeah, not now though, but we gave them that big boost.
Now they're a little bit better. But
coming in, we were the hot team. It's just they are so volatile in the way that they're playing right now that it's not sustainable. I mean, you can't. Yeah, cool. We had that great, oh my God, 9-game win streak. Yeah, cool, great. But we all called it then where it's like, well, they played the fucking A's and they played the Rockies. So, like, it's not a thing to, like, really toot our horn about. They come home and they barely survive that.
Yeah,
and we're supposed to have like one of the best home field advantages in baseball. That's all out the window. I'm overhearing this fucking stigma about this shit. We have Citizens Bank Park is anybody's game, honestly. There is no advantage whatsoever. Until they prove that, I'm off that fucking train.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess this was right after the 5-game losing streak where I said you kind of get Sixers vibes from this team from time to time. Like, I went way lower than I probably should have. Like, talking about all, like, the roster construction and how it's Sixers-esque. I'm not going to go that far, but at the same time, I mean, they can do all they want in the regular season. They can do all they want in a 10-game sample. Just like, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done for me in the playoffs? And it hasn't been a whole lot. And to the point about being good against 500 teams, yeah, they're 2 games under 500. The Mets are 23-14 against 500 plus teams.
Mets are just a better team right now.
The Cardinals are...
I mean, it's just, I feel like they're just going to have to try to hang on and, like, still be in, like, a wild card position until we get to the trade deadline. It's going to be, I think it's going to be kind of a little ugly, like, until July.
Well, it's funny. I saw a headline that was like, oh, the NL's is really difficult. We'll be like, blew out Toronto the first game. But then, like, the next 2 games, it did not line up to what they said. Like, yeah, the NL is really difficult, right? We get that. We know there's a lot of hot teams, a lot of young teams, a lot of good teams. You go to Toronto thinking, all right, we get a little reset our away. Played on the road. We've been pretty good on the road the last couple games, 10, 12 games we've played. And it's not the case. With or without Harper, we get the bullpen and pitching is a little fucked up right now, but it's just whatever can go wrong will go wrong right now. It's tough to pin it on one specific asset. Even if they hit well, like getting 8 runs a game is just not doable.
Yeah, but I mean, so look at this, right? In the last 2 series, they've been outscored 42-21. That's 6 games. They're 1-5. They're only averaging 3.5 runs a game. And that's including that 8-quote-unquote 8-run outburst. Mm-hmm. And that 7-run outburst, quote-unquote, in the 9th inning against the Brewers. So, I mean, the offense, I think, there are tons of things you can point the finger at. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to say mine's the offense.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Because, I mean, the other day, Mick Abel comes out, gives you 5 strong innings, like 5, you pitch like 5 1/3.
Yeah. Only give
it 1 run. Like, that's more, that's all you can ask from him and more. And, yeah, you're just getting nothing. I mean, you go out in the lineup, like Bryson Stott.
He's pissing me off.
He's been bad. Like, I think
God.
he's bad. Like, I remember last year thinking, like, I don't know if this guy's a major league hitter.
You said it on the pod.
Yeah, and then then the beginning of this year he looked a lot better, and then I'm kind of like back there. Like, I just don't know if this guy has it. It's a shame because like he has like a good approach at the plate. Like he works at bats really well, but just does not have any like. No real
Nothing.
power, just too much weak contact.
No power, no placement. Like,
And
if
then,
you don't hit for power, that's fine. But get the ball on the field, put something in play, you're good to go. But he does nothing to support the offense at all. And same with Bohm, honestly, like they both have been.
Well, he's been better.
No, Bohm's been playing better.
Not to what.
I will not defend. I won't usually defend Bohm, but Bohm's been playing better.
I think Bohm is like, given like his contract and stuff, I feel like you're getting about what you need out of him. Like, just like sort of like an arbitration guy. Like, I think Bohm's like the least of their problems now.
I'll go both ways on Bohm. He's not he's not the biggest problem. For his contract, he's giving you about what you would expect. But for a first round pick, a 4th overall pick, you kind of expect a little more than this. I mean, he's years removed from that, but
yeah.
I mean, the draft pedigree would suggest that he should be better than he is. But like you said, he's not really who I'm upset about on the offense. But Stott, you can't continue to have this dude leading off.
Right.
After today's game, he's slashing 244, 311. That's your leadoff hitter with a 311 OBP.
Yeah.
And a 347 slug.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's not 1992. You need better numbers from your leadoff hitter than a 347 slug.
I feel like it's got to just be Trey leading off at this point.
Which he's been good.
He's been good.
He's been very good.
His on-base percentage is up there.
Yeah.
His bat's been awake. Defense.
Yeah. Don't even get me started.
Today?
That game Sunday against the Brewers, that was the epitome of disgusting. Like Weston Wilson, like misjudges a ball, goes over his head. And that wasn't they still could have got out of the inning. Taylor made double play ball, hits a tray. He boots it. Then the Brewers score 3 runs in that game. They win 4-2, 4-1 or 4-2. Disgusting baseball.
Bad.
Disgraceful.
He is terrible.
Defensively.
Yeah.
And you just keep going down the line like Realmuto.
Nothing at the plate.
Hold up.
Gives you nothing at the plate.
Yo, I feel bad for him after what happened yesterday, though.
I know, it's a wake-up call.
What do you mean that's a wake-up call?
Yeah, wakes him up a little bit.
His manhood got destroyed by like a 96-mile-per-hour fastball.
He wasn't using that manhood at all this whole season anyway, so fucking what's down there anyway? That shit's gone. Might as well be fucking nothing down there.
Jesus.
Wake him up a little bit.
No, I felt bad, man. That looked painful. He
I
could
mean,
barely,
no
he
one
couldn't even
deserves that.
walk.
Yeah,
no
it
one
sucks.
deserves
Hey,
that.
game's a game, baby, but you know what I mean? I don't feel bad for the guy.
Yo, you think he was wearing a cup?
Yeah.
I would hope as a catcher? Yeah, what the fuck?
What if he wasn't?
Everyone's wearing a cup.
If he wasn't wearing a cup,
Then he deserved
they're shattered.
it.
They're
Yeah,
done.
there's no you don't. I mean, yeah, no, there's no way there's a professional baseball catcher that's not wearing
I
a cup.
hope he was.
I can't imagine.
I don't feel bad for him, though.
I guess a
that's
cup
like-
will only protect you so much when a ball was
It was coming at you that hard, yeah.
Okay.
That's like the difference between like what happened to him and just like your balls being actually destroyed. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
it would
that's
just
true.
explode.
Just straight up rupturing them.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. But anyway, he's been ass behind the plate. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
The Kepler's been ass.
yeah, he hasn't been great. Yeah, the whole the outfield.
Just the outfield is in general.
Center
Yeah.
field still a black hole.
Yeah, Wet Brandon's
But
been
Brandon, I'm sorry, I love Wet Brandon, good vibes, but he kind of stinks. He's kind of like not a good baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's not giving you anything.
He's lost the sauce.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Wet Brandon needs to become Dry Brandon. He needs to shave. He needs to cut his hair.
Cut the
Dude,
That's
beard.
just become a normal
Cut it
look
all,
on
man.
dude.
Move.
He's got to cut it all. It's just
I mean,
not.
it worked for Sirianni. It sort of worked for Harper. It'll work for everyone.
I mean, Harper
don't
did
know.
get hot after that.
Yeah,
I
Harper
did
was
eat- I
doing
did-
well until Strider hit him in the elbow.
I did eat my words. I mean, I talked a lot of shit about the haircut, but the proof is in the pudding. He did turn it on for a little bit after that. But the team there's again, it's classic Phillies just pissing you off for like every now and then. There's one part of the season where they just kind of everything takes a shit, and we're in that right now. We're in the thick of it.
Yeah, I think it's notable that what is this Matt Gelb tweet I pulled up? I got a couple tweets here. What do I got pulled up about the Phillies? Let me find this one.
But yeah, I don't feel bad about the ball shot. This
Oh,
is-
I do?
No, I don't. I mean, yeah, I feel bad that it probably hurt like a bitch, but like, what the fuck? Who gives a shit, man? It's JT. He's making a lot of money. He's good to go. He ain't doing shit on offense. Get a little fucking boink. That'll wake him up a little bit. Like I said before, where Trey Turner's mom should give him a call, tell him he's a bum, and that kind of worked out last year.
JT should just have his balls bruised severely.
Yeah, I mean, you
Oh,
know,
jeez.
he ain't flexed on anybody anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, he hasn't been good, but that's neither here nor there.
Bad. He's got the little, it's his leg pop. Oh, he's dancing. Hit him in the nuts. He'll be readjusted then.
But yeah, man, I think it is notable. From June 6th to June 24th, they won 15 of 18 games, which was largely against weaker competition. Since then, they've dropped 7 of 10. And like Toronto is above 500, the Brewers are above 500. The Braves are a disgrace, but I don't know. They just haven't really played well against some of the better teams, some of the playoff caliber teams.
Well, Toronto's only just out. They were 31 and 29 coming into
Yeah, the
today's game.
Brewers were like a game above 500,
Yeah.
but I mean,
We're quoting teams being above 500, like barely above
But
500.
it is what
we're not playing the Yankees. We're not playing the fucking Dodgers. Like, we're playing teams that are like technically above 500, but it's in a long season. 29 and 28 or 30 and 29 is not like, you're not playing a great team. You're
Yeah.
playing a team that like has a win above 500. Like, we're not. Toronto was that too.
Yeah.
So was Milwaukee. Like, we got them to where they are now. We're now they're like 34 and 29, and Toronto now is like 32 and 29. But coming into that game, they were barely a 500 team. That's all I'm saying. The
Yeah,
stats, like,
yeah.
they're not as
I mean,
poetic as you want to make them to be.
that's fair. I mean, they aren't beating the Yankees. They aren't losing the Yankees. They aren't losing the Dodgers, but they're losing to playoff caliber teams. Teams that if they make the playoffs are gonna have to play teams like this.
Yeah,
Like
and they're gonna have to beat.
the Brewers. the Phillies could very well see them in a wild card round. That's. I mean, yeah, the Phillies are down bad right now, but that's not a great matchup, even if the Phillies are playing better. That's a young team with a lot of power, a lot of energy. The Phillies are kind of just built on pitching and just, I don't even know what else. 3 guys in their offense that can hit.
I think about that quote, though, that Castellanos said during spring training where he's like, well, all their pressure's off. Like, no one expects shit from us right now. Where it's like, you guys are still playing like a team that is stressed out every time you're at the plate. Like, they don't seem like they're just out there playing baseball, having a good time. They seem like they need to win every game, which is not what you want to see. Other teams that we play, they look relaxed. They're chilling. They might make mistakes here and there. No big deal, though. That's name of the game. But they're playing fun baseball. The Phillies, like, in a close game before, maybe like a couple months ago, I'd be like, oh, they could pull it out, no big deal. But of late, if it's a close game, I do not feel comfortable at all with this team. They don't give me good energy. They don't give me good vibes. No one's consistent. There's no, like, player that I'm like, oh, my God, thank God Cassie's up. Like, we're going to have a chance to hit home run here at bottom of the 9th. If it's bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, 2 outs, I don't feel good about anybody coming to the plate right now.
No, they've been like one of the worst teams in baseball batting with the bases loaded,
It's
too.
just like they're not
clutch.
They have no mojo.
Yeah,
they got nothing. They got no identity. They got nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we've been saying that.
Yeah.
We've been saying this team has no swag. They don't deal with adversity particularly well. And I don't know. What do y'all think? Can they turn it around? Can they change this up?
Yeah, I mean, it's still, it's a long season. Teams go through these kind of things. It's just, I just think they're like missing a couple pieces that they're going to have to get at the deadline, and it's going to be kind of up and down, and like being on a rickety raft going down the river for a while here until the deadline. You can plug some of these holes, but I'm not like in panic mode or anything. I still expect them to make the playoffs. I think they're gonna have to tread water and hold it down as best as they can until they can get some reinforcements here.
I think they're done. I think
You think they're done?
Yeah, I think they make the playoffs for sure, but I think like World Series, deep run, they don't have it in them. They're not showing me anything. Like we've been saying this the last 2 years since they went to the World Series that first time with everybody, right? They've been on that regression of NLCS, NLDS. We're lucky. I think we're lucky if we get out of the wild card round. I don't see this team making any effort in free agent, like bringing in any other support that's meaningful, doing anything that's going to impact this team. I think that the Phillies are a good team. I think that they beat bad teams when they need to, and they put up a fight against good teams. I don't see them going a long run in the playoffs at all. At all. This year is not it. I mean, maybe they go to the wild card, they do some fun shit, whatever, but like, I'm out.
Damn. Okay. I feel like I can see how your opinion's tainted by their recent play, but that, like Trevor said, it is a long season. I'm probably somewhere in between y'all, right? Where like it is a long season. Yes, I acknowledge that there's still plenty of time for them to make acquisitions, make trades, and for them to improve the team. At the same time, it's again, I get Sixers vibes from this team, right? Where like they're kind of front runners. They weren't the 2022 year. They weren't. But like ever since then, they've kind of just been all about like when they're on top, they play with swag and emotion and energy. But as soon as they hit a patch of adversity, they don't really deliver. And yeah, I think the trade deadline, they'll be able to bolster the pitching staff. They'll be able to get some bullpen help. Andrew Painter will come up. They'll go to like a 6-man rotation or maybe move Ranger back to the bullpen or Luzardo, or they'll figure something out. But offensively, I just don't see how they turn it around to where they can rake with the Dodgers or even the Mets in a playoff series. It's a long way. It's June 5th. The playoffs don't start for 5 months, give or take. So we're a long way from that. But unless they find a way to acquire a righty outfield bat, or even, I guess I'd take a lefty power bat, someone in the
take
outfield.
anyone that can hit.
Anybody, yeah.
Someone that can
Just
do something
a
with
warm body that
on
can hit.
offense other than Turner, Cass, or not even Cassie's been okay. Turner, Schwarber, or Harper. I don't really see it. But
I foresee them being the Pittsburgh Steelers of baseball. They'll be a perennial playoff team, no doubt about it. But that's as far as you'll get. There's no champion. I don't feel the sense of like championship contender, World Series contender. Like I don't get this from this team at all. They're too fucking mopey. They get too emotional about being down, which is fine. You lose a bad stretch. You should win this series. Okay, we'll get back after it. They win the first game of the next one, then they lose the rest of the series. Like, they don't have... every team deals with adversity. Bullpens to the shit, people in a batting slump, whatever, but we keep touting like, oh, well, we're the Fight Phils. We got the best fucking home field advantage in baseball, this and that. No, we don't. We're just the Phillies at this point. They don't do anything that gives us anything to be energized about.
Yeah, I mean, they're an older team. It's starting to show. Realmuto, I've been saying he's washed for over a year. I've been saying
offensively.
that. Yeah, offensively, he's washed.
Defense still.
Defensively, Turner's washed.
Ass.
Aaron Nola looks washed. Luzardo, he's probably due for a Phantom IL stint when Nola comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I don't know. They just have a lot of holes. It's difficult to see them making it that far, but again, the playoffs start in 5 months. There's plenty of time for things to change. Mick Abel, though.
Yeah.
Mick Abel's exciting.
The little silver lining.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, he was, he outpitched Paul Skeens in his first start?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's wild. And then, yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday, right? Yeah. Yesterday, 5 innings of 1-run ball.
But even
against
that,
a pretty
though,
decent offense.
Even that, though, I feel like is bad. Like, I feel bad for Mick Abel because didn't they only win that game against Paul Skeens like 1-0? They let Skeens go the whole game.
I mean, well,
so
it's against Paul Skeens.
Yes,
but still,
Skeens is the best pitcher.
My only point though is that like you see what like Mick Abel's going up against. Like he has had like a 2013, 2012 Cole Hamels game where like you're pitching your balls off and like you lose by 1. You're like, come on, man. Like you got
to give the rookie a little love. Man.
Yeah, come on, man. Let the bats wake up a little bit for that. But
this team doesn't recognize that, man. They don't
I'm just saying,
energy.
He's great. I think he's going to be a great addition, but I just feel bad how his games have shaked out for him that way. That's all.
Yeah, I think he's in the rotation for a while yet because Nola, this whole situation with Nola, he pitched his ankle's better, but now he has pain in his side. He's that contract is going to be an albatross on the Ryan Howard. Maybe not. I don't know. It's long. It's longer than the Ryan Howard deal. The Ryan Howard deal was 5 years or 6 years. How long is Nola's contract? Like 7 or 8?
I forget.
Yeah, that's going to be an albatross on the Ryan Howard level. I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm going to be right. But, this was a cool tweet from Sarah Langs. Y'all know her, the ESPN girl. Y'all know her? She has ALS or something.
I don't know.
She loves baseball. She's cool as hell. But Mick Abel is the first pitcher in at least the last 125 seasons with 5+ innings, no walks, and 1 or 0 runs allowed in each of his first 2 MLB appearances.
Yeah, man.
120 since 1900.
That's wild.
That's gangster, dude.
You know what? Yeah, we are going back to World Series. I do take that back. Yeah, no.
I think he's fun. Once you get Painter up here, you'll have the makings of what could be your future rotation. Mm-hmm. Then you got to get younger with the bats. That's the thing. A lot of these guys are older. And I was hoping like Stott would show some maturity. Bohm would show some maturity, although I think Bohm's probably still going. They just don't really have a whole lot of offensive prospects. Like as these guys get older, I don't know. But now I'm thinking too big picture, and I'm really starting to get on my Sixers or the Phillies grind. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we got to move off that.
You got to relax.
The last thing I'll say about the Phillies, and this will, I guess, segue right into the Eagles, is this Vic Fangio quote. Did you see this?
What?
When he spoke at OTAs the other day, one of the reporters asked him about the Phillies' recent struggles. He goes, "The warts will show up eventually." Damn. Vic Fangio's throwing shade at the Phillies, dude.
Someone's got to talk some shit in there. I mean, again, we can pivot to the Birds for that, but like, Topper is he reminds me like Dougie P, where like he doesn't want to upset anybody, but sometimes you got to talk some shit, like rattle the cage a little bit to get everybody playing a little bit better. That's all.
Yeah.
And, like, he is too nice in there from what he presents. Sometimes you got to put a little hot take out there to the media, get the players get all riled up.
Yeah, he's definitely a player's manager, which a lot of times I like, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Sirianni is in a lot of ways a player's coach.
Well, I think football's like head
You
coach
just
in
made
football.
the Dougie P. to Thompson comparison. Now you're going to say they're different sports?
In personality wise, though, I think Nick is playing a different game. Dougie P was way more of like a white bread butter like average Joe kind of guy, real nice person. Sirianni at least has a little flavor in there. A little.
That's true.
He, like,
okay, fair enough.
Has flare-ups on the sideline. He's more energetic and Italian, whatever. But like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying. But I feel like, Topper gets a little too. We're okay. We're all right. I'll figure it out. The guy's gonna work this through. But good shit for Vic Fangio for calling that shit out. Someone has to.
Yeah.
Because no one in that fucking coaching scheme over there is gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Topper's style is probably a little. I think it's more laid back than we would like in Philadelphia, right? Like, we like a coach that gets a little fired up. I think that's probably kind of why I don't like Nick Nurse, is because he's too laid back sometimes.
Yeah, I want to see Topper get thrown out sometimes, man.
But
Talk some shit.
At the same time, like, you don't want to Torts either.
Well, no.
Where Torts is like telling Cam York he's going to ruin his life.
I don't want you to abuse your players. I want you to just defend your players that you have and, like, talk that shit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Nah, you need a balance, and I think Topper might be maybe a little too far in the lenient direction, and then Torts was too far in the just I'm on your ass direction.
And Vic just, like, calls out like he sees it, does his thing.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah,
dude.
calling out CJGJ.
Yo, he's so funny. Which, I didn't even take that as much of a slight against CJGJ. Right? He was just like, oh, yeah, well, that was a salary cap
You know what we're talking
thing.
about?
Yeah.
We're like, I feel like that to me, I think CJGJ, honestly,
he's looking for beef, dude.
that's the NFL, man. Like, what the fuck? Of course, you're going to use an older player. This guy plays really well in this kind of position. I have a chance to draft this exact mold that works well in my defense for a lot cheaper, a lot younger. If it's a salary cap issue, call it a day. That's all Vic Fangio was saying.
Yeah, but he took it to, like, mean some sign of disrespect. It's like, come on, man.
That's the name. It's an industry. It's what you do.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
what? Like, that's literally the NFL.
that's especially a guy in the secondary.
Right.
They love drama. Like, secondary, wide receiver, they love a good beef.
Yeah. I mean, CJGJ loved the 2 years he was here, but, like, there's a reason why you've been on a different team every fucking year for the past, like, 5 seasons.
Yeah, he's a
you know what I
lunatic.
mean? Like, yeah. Don't yeah.
And
Thank you for your service, and that's all I can say.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. I mean, I always liked CJGJ. I get that, but I didn't take what Vic said was like a slight to him. It was just like, hey, if it was how he came to me and said it's a salary cap decision, he said okay, and they drafted a guy that fit the exact same mold. You wouldn't say, well, they drafted a guy because they didn't want me. I mean, technically, could be true, but that's literally what the draft is for. They draft young guys that fit their scheme, that are cheaper for a longer deal, and they move off the other guys that are old vets that are more expensive.
Yeah, it's a salary
So,
cap
like,
league.
it's what you do. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he was kind of out of pocket with his remarks. Just whatever. I don't want to talk about it too much.
Where did he go to, too?
The Houston. We traded in
Yeah, well, don't
Houston.
be fucking mad. You got a ring. You're in fucking Houston now. Have fun
he got
down
a
there.
ring. Yeah.
You
And
got a ring.
Houston figures to be solid. Like, let's be honest, they probably aren't winning anything in the AFC, but you'll at least be on a contender.
You know what he'll do? He'll get hurt this year, like 4 weeks in after getting 3 picks, and then he'll be back here in Philly next year.
For a third stint.
Yeah.
That would
Back
be
to the
funny.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, that'll be it. That's
that
what'll
would be
happen.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But now, what else happened with the Eagles? What else did Fangio say?
I saw that Jordan Davis is in the best shape of his life.
Oh, so Fangio talked about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, so like Fangio was saying, yeah, he looks great. He looks really good. Fangio like said, yeah, the last 7-8 games of last season, I thought Jordan played really good football, including the playoffs, which I always bring up when we picked up his 5th-year option. I brought it up. His last 2 playoff games, he had 2 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, Mahomes kind of just walked into him in the one, but he was in the right place at the right time.
That's all you need to
So
be.
what happens sometimes as a D lineman. But then someone asked Vic, like, yeah, why did it take so long for him to get to this point? And he just straight up said, I'm going to duck that question.
Yeah.
He's so funny. He just tells it how it is, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
But good for Jordan Davis. He was saying he fell in love with a Peloton halfway through the year. He says he's been like on his bike like crazy. Says that it's taken a lot for him to get to this point. The thing I'm going to say, you hear this all the time in training camp and mini camp and OTAs and other sports and preseason, spring training. I'm in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the season starts, you're getting the same performance you got the previous year, which is, in Jordan Davis's case, would still be solid. It's just not first round. You traded up to get this guy worthy.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Jordan, he's been around for a little bit now, but he's not like a vet. Like, what is this? Is like
fourth year.
Yeah. But I feel like the whole I'm in the best shape of my life is usually something you hear from like an aging veteran who's like clearly on a decline. But it's like, I'm in the best shape
That's
ever.
a good point.
Like,
He's like 26, 25.
He's like mid-20s, like, I'm in the best shape of my life. Like, you should be.
I hope so.
This is the time where you're supposed to be in the best
You're
shape
making
of your
millions
life.
of dollars. You're on a professional football team. Like, you got trainers out the ass. Like, you better be. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not, there's something wrong.
Uh-huh.
But good for him. I mean, I hope he comes in.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he comes in and is able to make an impact. Hope he's able to play more snaps on the D-line because we're going to need him with some of the veteran talent on the D-line that departed, and Sweat and BG retiring. Bryce Huff, who we'll get to in a minute. Not that he was talent, but he's gone. So, like, there are more snaps there for Jordan Davis to take. So just go ahead and take him. Jahad Campbell's not going to be ready till August, apparently. So he may or may not be ready to play the field starting the season. So, yeah, that's more snaps. It's more opportunity for the guys on the D-line healthy.
Yeah, I like it. OTAs are always like, they're energetic. They're excited about being back on the field and all that, seeing the birds fly around. I think that it's good that every interview that I've heard from, whether it's Jalen Carter or Nolan Smith or Jordan Davis, it's a lot of team verbiage. It's a lot of like, oh, hey, like Nolan Smith had a great interview last year, this and that. Like, and he jokes about, my tricep was busted for the half of the game. I couldn't get that fumble. And I was like, Mill, get back in here. Like, put the ball into his hands so he can get the fumble because, like, his arm was shot. But it's all team.
That's wild.
It's all team mentality stuff where, like, they are like, yeah, I feel great. I'm glad that we won. But they're all still back on that. Like, I'm not great unless Jalen Carter's having a good day.
Well, you can't be great without the greatness of others.
Which
That's
is
what
good
it all
that
comes back to.
I think it's makes me feel good that no one's got a big head yet. Especially with the way that people try to put Jalen Carter into a box draft day of like, oh, he's like, off the field issues and whatever, and maybe attitude here and there. But even him in interviews is like, we know we have the leadership role now because we lost BG and we lost other guys and Sweat, the other guys that were vets on the line, but they're assuming that role, but they're still pivoting to a team mentality, which is all you want to hear. There's no like, me, or like, I'm going to put the team on my back. Like, they know that this defense operates on a everybody on all cylinders at all time mentality.
Well, I mean, yeah, that goes back to Sirianni setting the culture.
Yep. So I feel good about it.
Sirianni had the one quote. He said, what did he say? Repetition is the burden of leadership. He's just full of quotes now, man.
Well, you spend enough time with Jalen Hurts.
He's killing it.
Him and Jalen Hurts they have the same like quote book.
Yeah, they should
They're
write.
just in a dark room just saying random shit.
Dude, they should write a motivational journal. They would kill it.
Yeah, they should have all those like posters that they put up in like like high school or whatever. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I would do about it.
Some of those probably already exist around here.
Yeah.
So I feel good. I just saw a highlight, like a NFL film thing with Jalen Hurts today, and I was crying. I'm like, God damn, it's just so sweet. Like, it's amazing to watch. It was like an overlay of his post Super Bowl win speech of like what he's gone through, also mixed in with like game time commentary while he was like having all the big plays he shot. Like they were like, he can't throw, he can't do this. I'm like, had the dagger, hit this.
Oh, that's
like,
my quarterback.
It was just, I was tearing up. Not gonna lie, it got me emotional. But I think this team has a very good shot of difficult road. But I think this team has a good unit together again to run it back. Or at least put themselves in position to do that.
Did you see what happened with the Lions?
Yeah, man. They're kind of fucked.
They're
Frank
fucked up
Ragnow
again? Yeah.
retired
Yes.
at 29?
Out of nowhere.
And he was, once Kelsey retired, he was the best center in the NFC. Probably by far, actually.
Now it's Cam Jurgens.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, so the Lions, I looked up who their new center is. He's this dude, Graham Glasnow. He's a 10-year vet, third-round pick from 2016 from Michigan.
10-year vet, though?
He's been with the Lions for 6 seasons, so he's been in that system, but he's old. He's older.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hurt, which at that age...
You got an old head against Jordan Davis, best shape of his life.
And Jalen Carter, yeah, I mean...
He's gonna. That guy's gonna blow out his leg that game.
Lose their coordinators, lose him. Like I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I fucking feel bad.
Is that game at home? The Detroit game?
Yeah.
Oh,
we have a short week. That's the only thing.
The last Detroit Lions game we were at, someone had a fishing rod, or some sort of stick in the game. Somehow they were able to bring it in, and they had a little line on a noose over the visitors' tunnel, and they didn't get kicked out. It was weird, yeah. I don't know.
Good
weird
for
times,
them.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even aside from the Eagles game against the Lions, that team's very run-heavy.
Green Bay's defense.
And they're a run-heavy team behind both their running backs. You lose an all-pro type center, and you don't have any. The thing that sucks is not that I feel bad for them, is had he told them before the draft, before free agency, I'm going to retire. They could have replaced him.
Right.
But they had no idea free agency's over. The draft happened.
Yeah, they're fucked.
They're kind of stuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, good for us. Kind of sucks for them, but whatever. Oh, and then I meant to bring this up when you said the Phillies are going to be the Steelers of the NFC or the NL East or the NL or whatever you're saying. Who's their Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I was gonna say who's some weird guy who does ayahuasca who's a baseball player.
Yeah, you seen
For the Phillies?
You seen Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny
What the hell?
I feel like for the last month or so.
It seemed like that was just a matter of time before.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like I've
Dude,
seen
why
this.
would they bring him? Who did they?
They have
Russell
nobody.
Wilson.
He's with
No, he's with
the
the
Giants.
Giants.
Who did they bring in at quarterback?
Nobody. They have nobody in there.
Well, that's why everyone
That's
assumed that they
him.
were going to sign Rodgers because
Didn't
they
they?
didn't.
No, Fields is with the Jets. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
they
They
traded
literally
him.
they have no. It's maybe Mason's still back in there.
Damn, they could have done
Like
better
they
than
have
watched
no.
Aaron Rodgers.
Like their quarterback is. They're like, damn, what are you gonna do with this starting five? And it's like him, DK Metcalf.
It's just
fucking
dude.
They're gonna be bad.
The Steelers, they're just so committed to being slightly, maybe a little above mediocre.
Yeah, they won't be bad.
They
That's
cannot
true. Yeah.
they will never. They almost remind me of the Flyers.
Yeah.
They just can't.
Damn, we're coming full
of
circle.
like-
So the
of like a
Phillies
few years ago.
are the Flyers.
Well, the Phillies are.
Right?
Yeah, I
So
guess,
you
yes.
said the Phillies are the Steelers,
If the
and you're
Phillies
saying
are the Steelers or the Flyers. Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Phillies are the
Yeah,
Flyers.
we have to at least be in the. We have to try to be in the playoffs. We're not they'll never bottom out. They're never gonna change their coach or whatever. They're just committed to just being just good enough
Yeah.
to be sort of in the mix every year.
They'll use that one pick to get a super stud that won't really affect the outcome of the team, but will be a Hall of Fame type of player. They're oh, we got TJ Watt, but you got nothing else to show for it. You're gonna bring in. The funny thing is, Pittsburgh was we got 5-time MVP Aaron Rodgers now, but
This guy
that was
hasn't
so
won an
long
MVP
ago.
in probably 10
and he's playing the
years.
whole NFC North, which is hysterical to me because I hope that he gets embarrassed every game he goes to play Green Bay in Lambeau Field and get embarrassed. Go play the Lions, get embarrassed. Go play the Bears. Maybe they win that game because the Bears suck, but it'd be funny as shit if they get embarrassed there. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a very weird thing to be
I think
we got our guy.
This is the last year of his career.
He said, "I'll sign the contract after OTAs are over." This guy is so fucked up in the head. They suggested that he was going to be there months ago, and I feel like I kept seeing all this Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, but no one could confirm yes or no. And I'm all right, well, we're over free agency, the draft is done, OTAs are starting up. Is he going to be there? But now apparently he is their quarterback. It's a weird game, man.
Good luck with that. I mean, Mike Tomlin is the ultimate floor raiser when it comes to the NFL, or really coaching in general, probably. So I think they'll finish above 500. I can't say they'll make the playoffs with Rodgers as their
This is his
quarterback.
last year in Pittsburgh, I think.
They've had 3 coaches in the last 50 years.
I
You
think they
so?
have to move on. I mean, what you got Pittsburgh running the division every year, right? I mean, they made the playoffs last season because they do what they do when they go above
They
500.
always finish above 500, yeah.
But I don't, if I'm a fan of Pittsburgh, I feel like if I'm an owner as well, like listening to the fans, you got to like make a change. Like you got to move on. Mike Tomlin hasn't done shit in years.
No, I'm with you. I don't know. I think they're one of those. They're again content to be just slightly above average, like Trevor said. Whatever, they can have it. What do y'all make of Saquon being on the Maddon cover?
Oh, the Maddon curse.
Yeah. I mean,
Where you at with that?
I don't believe in these sorts of things, but
Yeah, I'm a good Irish Catholic. I don't believe in voodoo, but no, I'm kidding. I mean, statistically, you look at the past 4 or 5 Maddon cover running backs. It's not great.
yeah, it was like
It's not-
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey was the last one. I mean, they're going all the way back to like Sean
There was
Alexander.
Peyton Hillis. He had that 1 year we called
Yeah.
lightning in a bottle.
Yep, Sean Alexander was bad. But at the same time, I feel like from what I saw from Saquon the O-line hasn't changed. So, I'm sure they're going to temper back the usage of Saquon. But a lot of that wear and tear, like they might say all the carries, or 400 touches, whatever he might have had last year. The amount of runs that he had for touchdowns last season of just untouched yardage, like he wasn't really getting banged up at all. So, I don't really see...
He had a couple games where he was noticeably slowed down after getting hit a few times.
Sure. I mean, the biggest one was the KC. I mean, the Super Bowl, he got stumped. That was the only game I really saw all year.
No,
He
I'm
got
thinking
fucked
of
up.
the Jacksonville game. A couple hits after the backwards hurdle, he was not the same the rest of the
Sloppy
game.
weather, pretty bad game, but 9 times out of 10, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
most games he played, he was not really getting hit a whole lot.
Well, they're definitely not going to use him quite as much.
Well, teams know how to play for
think-
that now, right? They're going to be like, I don't want to get a
Yeah.
home run ball on me for Saquon. Like, they don't want to be a fucking meme the next day,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which 8 teams got that shit.
and they got Quadzilla.
Yeah, they don't want to get the Rams.
Look at this guy.
2 times in one game, 2 80-yard rips. Like, what the fuck? That's unheard of.
Yeah, twice in the same
Right.
season. Yeah, that's
3
wild.
times, really. Twice in one game in LA, and then once in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
in the snow.
Yeah,
Cry right now, think about that. But I think that I don't believe in the curse. But if I had the first round pick in fantasy, would I draft him?
I don't know.
You
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think I
don't
would.
know.
I think he's due for some regression. They're not
I
going
mean,
to.
it's hard to replicate what he did last year. I think he'll regress a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
He might only
I'm
get,
not expecting
he might
him
only
to,
get
like-
1,700
I'm
yards
not
this
expecting
year.
him to fall off a cliff or anything, but yeah.
I think they're going to use him less. I also think he's just generally going to be a little less effective because teams will have a better idea of how to game plan against it.
But hopefully I'll just open up shit for other people.
Which isn't a bad
I
thing.
mean, look at the Super Bowl. They effectively took him away, and it's don't matter.
Yeah,
man.
Hurts-
Yeah,
Hurts
Shipley,
went off.
bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny
Hurts.
Gainwell.
Yep.
Yeah, Dave. Shout out Dave Kiss,
Plus,
by the way.
you don't get who'd they pick up? Dylan as a backup running back if you don't expect to use him in the 3rd and 2, 4th
Or
and goal.
he might be your fourth quarter power running back, so you can
or
save
just power in
Saquon.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like an 8, Jay Ajayi
Yeah, if you
and
get a
Garrett
lead-
Blunt. Yeah, you put
Lead late in the game, they'll just start putting Dylan
So-
out there. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't quite believe in the curse, but I do have a problem with him choosing Geno's. I got a problem with
Did
that.
he pick that though, or did the NFL? Or
I mean,
Madden
I'm
pick
sure
that?
it wasn't him.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
still,
This is the
Yeah.
guy that hung out with Trump.
true. Which she went with the Pats then.
Yeah.
Goddamn
dude, I think,
Geno's.
I think honestly it had everything to do with just the layout of Geno's.
I think it was the visuals,
because
too.
they put those covers on top of the Pats isn't set up for that really.
You got that whole centerfold or whatever the movie theater thing is. You get the whole bust up there. They're busting everywhere.
Yeah.
They're busting for Saquon on the right side. They're busting over here for the left side.
I think just logistically it worked better.
Yeah, you get the little
Fair-
trifold.
fair
You're on that
enough.
little tripod kind of thing going up.
Yo, Geno's his ass though.
No, hate
I
Geno's.
I can't remember the last time I actually added Geno.
But they did have that good all that shit going.
Fair enough. Whatever. The NFL chose what they're going to choose.
Yeah.
But no, I got a problem with Geno's, man.
I like that they mopped out the Jags helmet though for the cover.
They what?
So like you can't like we know it's Jacksonville that he jumped over, but like they just made it a black helmet. They didn't like put like the Jacksonville.
It was funny too. Like I guess they did. I don't know. I guess they were filming some kind of like commercial for Maddon or whatever.
Oh, I seen this.
And it was like it was funny because like the clip that kept going around was like him like recreating the hurdle thing, but like he's like still in the air for a second. Like he just like floats for a minute. And it's like, but then you see the other footage, and like they had him on like ropes and shit, but they just edited him out, and like I just love like people like some people thought it like how's he floating like
He did the Matrix.
He's like holy shit, and then people are like this is AI, and it's like no, it's just like old school like Peter Pan.
Yeah, there's two guys in the back room like
yeah, there's literally just a guy going like this, just pulling on this rope. That's how they made him like, stay
some
in the
guy
air
did
for a
stage
half
crew his
second.
whole life. Was like, oh my god, I've been waiting my whole life to do this shit. I'm lifting Saquon Barkley in the air.
That's pretty cool, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's pretty cool.
That would have been the true Maddon curse if during the Maddon cover photo shoot he tears his ACL. No, like ripped his fucking leg, like just like tears him up. That'd have been ass.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But anyway, Saquon
I don't think
Barkley.
any curse, Maddon curse, whatever else, voodoo kind of bullshit. This team is good to go.
What did you say they were going? 16-1?
No, 15-2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
easy
right,
now.
Which is,
Settle
isn't,
down. Well, no.
with the Lions being banged up, that's
No. What did I say? 15-2 losses, I said?
I think he said. I don't remember.
How many weeks are there now? 18 or 17?
There's 18 weeks, but they play 17 games.
I think I did say 17-2. Damn. No.
15-2.
15-2.
Pretty sure you said 15-2
Huh?
I think I was at like 13
stay
and 4.
healthy.
So,
I said
yeah.
14 last year, and I hit it on the... No. Didn't hit 14.
Yeah, you did.
They did hit 14 last year.
Yeah, you did.
In a weird...
That's why I was drinking
I didn't
the
get my
piss.
games right, but
Yeah.
the score ended up at the same, so I was cool with that.
Yeah. But anyway. Damn, I kind of want a cheesesteak now.
That's all I got for the Birds, though. I mean, OTAs are going to be... Oh, we drove by... what's it called? The... wherever they practice at, Novacare Complex.
Novacare Complex.
They had all like the noise out there for a minute. We were like, what the fuck is that sound? They were like having like stadium noise
like
playing and
recreating
shit.
crowd noise kind of.
Some guy was like in the bushes like trying to watch. He's like, what the fuck's going on in there? But
Oh yeah, they put those like hedges up so you can't really see.
Yeah,
I was
think that a Chip
disappointed
Kelly
because
thing.
I remember like a couple years ago I had like a few doctor's appointment at Rothman and I was just like, I wonder if we'll see anybody like because I always hear about people like that have to go to
I've
Rothman
seen them.
and it's like you'll like run into some and it's like I didn't run into anyone cool.
Dude, when
maybe
I
Avante Maddox.
when I
Maybe
broke
like
my
a-
finger.
People that are always hurt.
Nah, man, when I broke my finger, I had to go there for hand therapy. So I would go, I guess it was for Thursdays and Fridays a lot. And I would go and sometimes I'd be getting in my car and they'd be coming out of the practice facility.
Yeah.
And like I remember one time it was after we lost, I forget who we lost to. But I was walking out of my car to walk into hand therapy and Jim Schwartz was coming out of the practice facility. And like the defense gave up a bunch of points in that game, and I scowled at him. He scowled right back at me. He was mad.
He was in his car like,
Yeah. Well, no, I was getting out of my car. I looked at him. I was like, and he like scowled right back at me. I just kept it moving. But yeah, I would see some of the players when I had to go there for hand therapy. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I guess that's it for the Eagles. Let's hit the Flyers real quick. We were talking about
Fly
the
guys.
Flyers, how the Phillies are basically the Flyers, but the Flyers are
Could be
locking in that
changing.
young
Could
core.
be a new age of orange, as they say. Yeah. So what we got here? They extend
First, it was Forster. It was
Forster
only 2 years.
for 2 years, so that's like a bridge deal basically. Which is cool. I think he was pretty good this year. I think he's definitely part of the plan going forward. And then Noah Cates for 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years is a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
But he was good though.
yeah. I mean, he was good. I think on a contending team, he could be like a solid like third line center. And like I think he showed a lot this year. Definitely. He's got. I think he's like Noah. I like Noah Cates. He's like a very like well-rounded player. He's got like a little bit of skill, very fast. Yeah, so it's like and like not a ton of money I think it was at 4 years, 16 mil. So it's like a 4-year cap hit each year, which with the cap going up, that's going to be like not a really huge percentage of your cap. So, yeah, I like that. Either he'll be around for a while or like could be a really good trade chip to have if they go that route. Because, I feel like a lot of these, if you're like a team going for a playoff run, you would love to have a guy like that as like your, fourth line center or something.
Even your
like
third line.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm into the moves. Both pretty low risk, nothing crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of look at it as just starting to lock up pieces of the young core, right? Like Forster, he's still developing. Yeah, Cates obviously is still developing. Yeah, I think Cates' ceiling, he's probably not I hope he's not our 2 seed, and things are going wrong, but
yeah,
he's a 3C. Maybe he fits on the penalty kill with his defensive acumen, right? Like, so yeah, I think 4 years for him, it's a long time. But at the same time, this team is hopefully going to be contending in 3 or 4 years, and he slides right into that. Then by then, I think he's like 28, 30, somewhere in that. Like,
yeah, I think he's
a little older, right?
Cates will be. Yeah, if I can look this up.
I'm pretty sure he'll be like between 28 and 30, and at that point, you can decide if you want to sign into another 4 or 5 year deal.
Yeah,
but nah, I'm not mad about it. I was looking at this, right?
Yeah, he's 26, so he'll be 30 by the time that comes up, which is fine. I mean, like, if they decide to keep him by that point, they'll just probably sign him to a couple years or whatever. Or, if
just let him walk if he's not good.
Yeah.
Or he's traded by then.
Yeah, or if he ends up like playing really well and working himself into like a big contract, then that's like a good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah,
if he really that means he really exceeded the value of that first contract, so. Yeah,
if he's like Selke contender, like 1C, which again probably isn't going to happen, but hey, if it does happen, that's a good problem to have. But then, man, we got so many young players on the squad now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize it until I sat down today and started thinking about it. Mishkov, obviously, Forster, Cates, Brink, Drysdale. Then in the wings, waiting in the wings, we got Barkey, Bonk, Bump, Bjarnason, Luchenko, Zavragin, and then whoever we get in the draft.
Yeah, 3 guys. Looks like might end up with that the last pick of the first round.
Yeah. Did you watch that game last night?
I caught the overtime.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, I caught the overtime.
Asleep in the
Dude,
third
it was like
period.
30 seconds left or whatever. Yeah, it was sick. That's going to be a fun series. It's going to be, yeah.
Where are you at with that? Do you want the Oilers to win so we get slightly better value, or to lose so we get slightly better value?
It's what, 30,
it's 31 versus 32.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I want the Oilers to win.
Yeah,
I don't want the Panther. I don't want a Florida hockey team to win
Fuck
2 years
that,
in a row.
man. Fuck
And
when
Florida.
a Canada team hasn't won since the 90s.
Yeah, as funny as that, like it's really funny that a Canada team hasn't won since '93, but I think it would, for one, like I don't really have anything against the Oilers. I did used to kind of hate the fact that they were always at the top of the draft and just sucked anyway every year. Like they kept like missing on guys, but for one thing, like Connor McDavid is incredible, and I think it's like good for. I think it'd be good for the league to have the best player in hockey win a cup. It would have been weird if like Sidney Crosby never won one. As much as I hate Sidney Crosby,
I was just going to bring that up.
Would have been weird if like he was just like stuck on if the Penguins were just never any good. So yeah, I feel like it's good for the NHL to showcase your best player like that. And yeah, I mean, I don't want fucking Brad Marchand to win a cup. Like, you kidding me?
No, he got to win the what do you call it? The what do you call it? The thing this year, not the Frozen Four.
The
Four Nations. Yeah, he got to win that, which
Yeah.
that was fun. Him and Konechny had that little moment where Konechny rode his back or whatever. I was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, you already won a ring, like, or a cup and a ring. Go home. But yeah, also, yeah, we can't have a Florida team winning. And I generally like to see greatness win. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
When greatness wins on the biggest stage and greatness performs, I'm all for greatness winning.
It's like, yeah, it's good for the sport. Like, yeah, because sometimes you feel like there's like, when like the best player in the league just never fucking wins, it kind of makes you hate the whole like parity salary cap thing. It's just like, no, I want to see the guy do it. You know what I mean? And like Connor McDavid is just like, I mean, he's like fucking unreal watching this guy.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's like maybe the best player I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, like I want to see him win one, and then you know he'll win the cup, have his like honeymoon season with the Oilers, and then hit free agency and sign with the Flyers. That's what's gonna happen. Just we'll be set up by them. We'll have all that cap.
Yeah, we got a decent amount of cap this year.
I like that. Look where our head's at.
I mean, the next offseason was when the Flyers will really have like a lot of room to maneuver. I mean, I feel like he's probably just going to re-sign with the Oilers, but
maybe he wants to come a little closer to home. He's from Richmond Hill, Ontario. Edmonton's probably a little farther from wherever that is. Where is that in Ontario? Yeah, it's right outside Toronto. So yeah, he'll be like 8 hours from home. Come home, dude. Yeah. Come to the East Coast. We'd love to have you. We'll build you a statue.
Yeah. Before you even get here, we'll build one. Yeah. We'll before the contract decides part of like the
Comcast bill up there. Yeah.
That's part of like the little video that we send to his agent is just the statues already made.
Yeah, we'll rename FDR Park, Connor McDavid Park.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Shout out to you.
But yeah, looking forward to the rest of the series. I think it'll be a pretty good one.
Quite frankly, I hope Edmonton wins in like 5 games. I don't really.
You want to see? You don't want Game 7 hockey?
That's a good point, but then that gets too nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's true.
When I have rooting interests involved.
Yeah, but it's not like heavy rooting interests. It's like I don't want to see Florida win, but if they do, I'm just going to be like and I'll go about my day. That
was how it was in the Four Nations.
It's like,
yeah.
So it's like I'd like to see a nice long, hard-fought series.
Yeah, there's nothing like Game 7 hockey or even playoff hockey in general.
Yeah.
What was the series this was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. When Binnington won one?
With St. Louis?
Yeah. Well, weren't they...
I forget who they were playing.
Wasn't there like a crazy like 2 or 3 overtime game in that series?
Maybe.
I don't remember. It might have been the Stars. I don't remember. I think it was when the Stars won it.
I thought this game was going to go to second overtime. I was about to like settle in. Like, all right, here we go. It's second overtime, baby. It's going to be one of those nights. And then like 40 seconds left, they scored.
Keith Primo night.
Yeah, dude. Get the pizzas out.
Dude, the pizzas.
The locker room. Got to order the Papa John's.
Yeah, I was watching NBC Sports Philly the other night, and they had a whole special about that game.
Yeah.
Like, I remember we were in 5th grade. I remember all of us showing up to school the next day, like, dude, that game was wild. Knowing damn well none of us stayed. Our parents wouldn't have let us stay up till 2 a.m. to watch that game in 5th grade. But I remember how much, like, we all talked about it the next day in 5th grade. And, like, to this day, like... You never see stuff like that no more. Where there's just like 5 overtime.
Like nothing like that, but...
Or the Wilson Valdez game in baseball.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see stuff like that anymore, man. I love the delirium of a sporting event still being played at like 2 a.m. local time. You never know what the hell you're going to get.
Yeah, it's how I fucking love playoff hockey.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and the Flyers also hired a couple assistants.
Yeah, I don't know anything about these guys.
I forget the name. Well, they both are guys that worked with Tocchet.
That makes sense.
One was from Vancouver. I don't remember what their names are. I forgot to...
What positions are they holding? I assume one might be like a power play, like defenseman type coach.
Yeah,
penalty kill defenseman type.
I want to say that the Vancouver guy is the power, more like the offensive power play dude, and the other guy who I think this last season he was with Detroit, but he had he was with Tocchet in Phoenix.
Gotcha.
But his name's like let me just look this up because I feel like
I don't know anything about these guys.
Yeah, let me see.
Like, I guess it's good. I mean, neither one of them will probably be a Bradshaw. Bradshaw was the man, dude. I can't believe we did him dirty.
Yeah, that does suck. So yeah, they hired. Okay, so the one guy who was within Vancouver is Yaroslav. I have no fucking idea how to pronounce the dude's last name. It's like Svechkowski, maybe?
That sounded pretty good, actually. That was like me with Japanese names.
Svechkowski? It's Svejkovsky.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. You're good with that.
And Jay Vrady is the other guy. But apparently the Vrady dude is like a big like analytics dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is kind of interesting to me, like that they're, maybe leading into that a little bit with their coaching staff. Because, like, Torts was, like, just completely not into that.
Yeah, I mean, Torts was a dinosaur. Tocchet's not much younger than him, but Tocchet's probably a little more open-minded than Torts was with his old ass.
Yeah, you'd think so. But, yeah, so I like the hires. And, like, to their credit, like, they're not former Flyers. They're not like,
True.
Part of
they didn't bring Lappy back as one of these assistant coaches. I would have had a connection.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously like they're Tocchet's guys, which like I mean that's kind of like the way it goes with coaches.
Every coach in every league is going to hire.
They're going to hire their
friends
own staff.
Yeah,
so there's guys that they're comfortable with. So yeah, I like it. I'm looking forward to see what they can do.
Yeah, now it's all about the draft, dude.
Yeah, man, can't wait.
Yeah, well, like I've read a little bit about prospects and like watched a little stuff about them. I'm gonna have to really start sitting down.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I feel like they're gonna have their pick of one of those four.
They have to get a
guys.
center.
Yeah, it's interesting because if Frondell, like I was like listening to some stuff about like Frondell.
I was reading about him.
Yeah, and I guess that the thing with him is like he's played center, but I think some scouts might see them better as a wing. So it's like how if he's the guy left at 6, are they going to feel comfortable taking him, or are they going to want a guy who's like definitely a center? I know we need centers, but I also do just want them to take like the most talented guy, and then figure it out later.
See, I think like what I was reading about Frondell is I think he is highly talented, even if he doesn't stick at center. He might be your best pick at 6.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would rather them just take the guy who's like the best on the board, even if like down the road they decide to just that he's better off at wing than like reach for a guy just because of position, which I don't know. I feel like Briere is like forward thinking enough that he'll just go with the talent, because I mean they just like need guys. Like it is true. It is obviously true that they are very thin at center right now, but given like that they're still a little bit away from contending, like I feel like you can't really be drafting for positional need right now when you have like this high of a pick. Like you just want to get the most talented guy.
No, they have a lot of depth, but they don't really have a lot of stars other than Mishkov and I guess Konechny, but he's older, right? So
yeah. So yeah, it's I guess a few weeks away still, but yeah, can't wait. Three picks in the first round.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Then the other draft, I don't want to spend too much time on the Sixers. I don't really want to spend any time on the Sixers, to be honest.
I don't even want to think about them.
I was just telling you all before we started recording, I'm not really that high on Ace Bailey. And I had a bad dream. Or I didn't even have a bad dream. I just had a premonition this morning.
Your dreams are pretty good, though, when it comes down to sports, I would say.
They're accurate, but I hope this one isn't. Because, if they get Ace Bailey, he's going to be a bust. I can feel it.
Oh, boy.
He's going to be ass, dude.
Oh, boy.
He's bust.
He doesn't.
Bustly. Bustly.
Yeah, he's. Oh.
Dang, he's about to be busting. He fits right in there with us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's, I think, why it's going to happen. But I have some stuff. I have
Ace
some.
Busley.
I have some knowledge to drop about NBA prospects, but we're an hour 14, so we can keep it rolling. We'll say that for closer to the draft, because we got to talk about the big
beef.
The big beef.
The beef,
The beef
baby.
that shook the internet.
The biggest divorce in America right now.
Yeah.
Elon Musk versus Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, this is wild, dude.
How about that?
I don't even know where to begin. Where do we begin talking about this stuff?
It's kind of funny that he paid the prenup before he got divorced. If you think about it, he paid $350 million to get the man in the house. But then he chose to leave the house.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, what I find really funny about the Elon Musk posting about how, like, you know, Donald Trump's on the Epstein list and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, this is basically just a different way of you saying, like, I spent millions and millions of dollars to help elect a pedophile to become president. It's like, point. you were part of this. Like, what do you...
Also,
like, you can't just, like, distance yourself from this now.
Also, even when Epstein when he died or committed suicide, whatever the fuck he did, like...
Committed suicide.
We all knew, like, the videos that he's, like, posting now on Twitter, whatever he wants to call it, we knew about, like...
Yeah,
we all knew. Like,
news, dog.
And he's like, but he was in those files. We're like, yeah, dude, we know, man. Like, that's why we want to, like, that's why I want it to be public. Like, it's not new, like
this, there's no... This isn't new information.
It's not groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's like, were you living under a rock 3 years ago?
You could be catty and salty about whatever you want, like, do this shit, but it's like... I don't know. It makes no sense to me that he's like, well, he's in the files. He's not making it public. We're like, yeah, man, we saw that shit before, man. We see that all the videos you're posting are from like years ago. Yeah. But I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly like, I feel like it's kind of like a brilliant because I feel like this was the plan all along for Trump to like bring this guy along, have him like absorb all of the negativity towards everything that they were doing. Because it was just like, with the whole, like, Doge thing.
The chainsaw thing with Argentina. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
And it's like everyone was just, like, hating on Elon Musk. Like, understandably, just, like, directing all their ire at this dude. And then at some point, just cut ties and let him go. And then, like, he's gone now.
Because it reminds me, remember that commercial where, like, there's a little pig that has, like, the little, like, pinwheel out the window.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Trump was driving the car, and Musk was like the little piggy, just like, wee, like having a good time. And then he's like, wait, hold on, now everybody hates me now.
Like, I'm actually not part of the club.
Yeah, like that's what it feels like is happening right now. He's like, hold on, I had a good time, but like, you know what? He is an asshole. I'm like, well, you can't say, after you spend all that money, you can't now backtrack and be like, nope, he's wrong. Like, you literally...
You helped him get to this point.
You literally did this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, he even went so far as to say, he won the election because of me.
Right.
It's like, so but you basically...
Right. You can't say, I elected this guy and he's an asshole and he's ruining the country when, like, you literally just admitted that you did this.
You admit it. Right.
Yeah.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
We're all trying to find the guy who did this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You can post old shit that you want, but god damn.
Did you see all like the stories coming out too about like Elon Musk is like rampant drug use?
Oh
like, during,
doing
which
ketamine
was not,
all the time.
I mean,
not a surprise.
Well, no, I remember like reading like his like ketamine usage was kind of like a known thing. Like there was like a lot published about that beforehand, but like. I don't know if I realized like how crazy it was. Like they were talking about how like he's like had like urinary issues or whatever. Because apparently if you do ketamine like a lot, it causes your bladder to like shrink.
Oh god!
So you just have to like constantly piss.
That sounds horrible.
But you're like pissing without like you like. You don't feel like you have to piss.
Pissing with the flow.
You don't feel like you have to piss. You're pissing constantly.
Yeah, so
you have to wear a Depend.
He might be diped up.
Yeah,
he probably is.
He's probably diped up.
I mean, you work with Donald Trump for that long, and you say
I feel like Elon Musk. It would be very easy for him to wear a diaper because he's so oddly shaped. He's just like weird.
Yeah.
He's just like
he kind of has a baby shape.
Yeah, he has like a very strange. He's a very oddly shaped dude that I feel like he could just like sneak a diaper in there and people wouldn't really question it.
And his face always does look like he just pissed himself. He's always like, it's a very like,
with his like bottom lip hanging out a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you work in the White House like that long enough, and you're like, hey, 5-year-old son, punch me in the face to see if I feel anything real quick.
Dude, there's
like,
no way that's what that was for. That black eye was from.
I mean, listen. I don't put it past it. I'd be like, can I feel?
He was at like a Tesla's Tesla. That's a
Tesla.
Tesla.
Hey, that's me. That's a me
He was at a
quote.
Tesla.
He said Tesla.
He was at a Tesla shareholders meeting and came out with a black eye.
Tesla son. They were like
fucking. The other thing too is like how it's like he was reportedly has been like doing all these like mushrooms and ecstasy and all this stuff.
He had like a little pill bag, a medicine bag.
Well, it's like amazing to me, taking stuff like that and like doing the most imagine like taking a bunch of like mushrooms and ecstasy and you're just at like a fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago.
That sounds horrible.
With a bunch of
in
like
the White House
with a bunch of like 75-year-old weirdos with like that weird like plastic surgery face.
Oh god!
And that weird breath.
Sounds terrible.
The breath smells like
horrifying.
Old
probably
person
stunk in there.
Old person breath. Meanwhile, they're like fucking Biden's son over here doing cocaine on Easter. It's like that's the least of their problem, man. Like he's not pissing himself that we know of. At least he's doing blow off some chick's butt. Like
he's probably
that's okay.
pissed himself once or twice, I'm sure. But
I'm okay with that though. At least he's of age. He's not like it's a weird.
What do you mean of age?
He's younger, he's chilling, he's doing his own thing, I mean, that's all I'm saying. Every night, we've all done
Is
blow
there
off.
an age where it's appropriate to piss yourself?
No, to do blow off a stripper's butt, that's all I'm saying. Like,
okay.
They were hung up on this whole cocaine shit. Meanwhile, Musk has like an overnight bag of just drugs that he needs every day to like be around him nonstop with a diaper on, while also dictating a lot of shit for the first month or two, which was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, like what the fuck. And now he's like, this is all bad. The big beautiful bill, they didn't like that. It's like
you already what do you call it? Pork.
He already did too much. He did too much damage.
Yeah, it's just what a time to be alive, man. Just watching all this go down.
We're living in a sitcom right now. It's wild.
Yeah, I love too all these. I see people like posting all these like memes of stuff with like Trump wearing the little like beret from like that South African party that's like the like kill the Boers like because they're talking about like they're gonna deport Musk back to South Africa.
Damn.
To have to fend with all the other white farmers who are facing the genocide.
Dude,
South Africa.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would be one of few things that Trump did. Like, okay, that's actually cool as hell.
I like that like Good Morning America shit. Like he was on like some like I don't know, C-level morning interview talk show shit. And he's like in his factory. They're talking about like him leaving the office, whatever. And the interviewer's like, but like, how do you feel about like them not letting all these other like people that aren't citizens be a student at like, Harvard or whatnot? Like, cause you were one of them before. And he was like, we're not talking about that right now. Like, I'm not going to address that. He's like, okay, we're good. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird time to live in right now.
Yeah. American politics, man. It's just like you said, it's a sitcom.
It is.
I don't often feel that we live in a simulation. Things like this, I'm like, damn, this is all just too weird to be real. With this, maybe we do live in a simulation.
I'm waiting for the alien episode of The Simpsons where like all the people just like rip off their fucking humanoid skins and just like are the weird little aliens living in there. Like, oh my god, we knew it. We knew this was happening.
Well, there's that one conspiracy that all these like politicians and stuff are really reptiles. They're like the reptilian humanoids.
We just saw Jon Stewart. I don't know, a week ago, maybe last week, where Trump was like opening up a conspiracy that like Joe Biden is an AI robot.
Hell yeah!
And they were like,
"That's amazing!" Like the idea that's pretty much just like puts the dagger in the whole idea that like AI is going to take over the world. Like the AI robot, and like
he don't know where he's at.
That's what it came up with,
right?
The guy who's like just like can barely talk and can't
nothing.
Like that's the AI,
right? Ooh, I'm scared.
That's your groundbreaking new technology that I'm supposed to invest my whole fucking retirement in.
We put this shit in a
Joe
9-year-old Biden. Doesn't know where he's at.
AI
doesn't know
robot
what he's at.
that can get dementia.
And cancer. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Since when do robots get cancer?
And that
It's
dude.
it's so fucking real, dude.
Yeah.
It's so real, the AI.
Good Lord.
Must be a liberal robot.
We just we designed, dude. Yeah, like
Trying to play to the crowd.
It's just like, dude. Yeah, we thought our AI was good, man. China's got an AI that makes a guy that like shits himself and pisses his pants and dies.
Can't walk.
It's like, this is crazy.
Make
The
the AI
technology is insane.
Can't ride bike. Can't walk on sand. Doesn't know where he's at. They're like, we nailed it right now. We got him. Yeah, the most advanced technology.
Who even needs humans anymore?
Yeah. Bad.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Send us or give us a 5-star rating and review of the podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace.
Happy Pride.